The scent of gardenias always makes my heart ache now. It's Iris's favorite perfume, the one she wears every day, and by extension, the one that clings to Isaac's suits when he stops by their family's penthouse. I can smell it now as I stand in their kitchen, supposedly helping Iris plan her birthday party, but really just stealing glances at him through the open doorway where he sits at the dining table, reviewing documents with that sharp focus that makes my stomach flutter. Earth to Ivy. Iris waves a hand in front of my face, her dark eyes sparkling with amusement. "You're doing it again." "Doing what?" I ask, too quickly, my cheeks already burning, staring at my brother like he's the last slice of chocolate cake at a fat camp. She grins, not unkindly. "It's been what, 6 years now? Since college? Don't you think it's time to, I don't know, actually talk to him? He doesn't even know I exist," I mutter, turning back to the seating chart we're supposedly working on. "I'm just his sister's invisible best friend." It's true. In the 7 years I've known Iris, her twin brother has looked directly at me maybe 5 times. And I mean really looked, not the polite nod he gives me when I'm in his peripheral vision. 5 times in 7 years. I've counted. I've memorized each instance like some pathetic lovesick teenager, even though I'm 26 years old and should absolutely know better. Isaac Moretti is everything I should run from. Dangerous, cold, completely unattainable. He runs the family business, which everyone knows is a polite term for organized crime, though no one ever says it out loud. He's also absurdly beautiful in that way that makes women stupid. All sharp jawlines and stormy gray eyes and that perfectly tailored Italian suit that probably costs more than my car. And he treats me like furniture. I've watched him charm senators, intimidate rivals, and seduce a parade of leggy models who hang on his arm like expensive accessories. But me? I get polite distance, the kind of courtesy you'd show a potted plant. "He knows you exist," Iris says, returning to her laptop where we're supposed to be finalizing the guest list. "He's just complicated about his sister's friends." "Complicated how?" She gives me a look I can't quite read. "Just complicated. Trust me, it's better this way." Before I can press her on what that means, my phone buzzes, a Tinder notification. "Marcus, 28, investment banker, wants to know if I'm free for drinks Friday night." He's attractive in that safe, boring way that's exactly what I need to get over this ridiculous obsession with Isaac Moretti. I accept before I can overthink it. Finally, Iris grabs my phone to see the message. Marcus looks normal, like actually employed and everything. "When's the date?" "Friday, casual drinks." I try to sound more excited than I feel. "Nothing serious, just trying something new." "Good. You need to get out there. Maybe if you actually dated someone, you'd stop pining over—" She cuts herself off, glancing toward the dining room where Isaac is still absorbed in his work. I follow her gaze despite myself. He's removed his suit jacket, rolled up his sleeves to reveal forearms that have featured prominently in several of my more inappropriate dreams. His dark hair falls slightly across his forehead as he reads, and I watch his lips move silently as he reviews whatever document has his attention. God, I'm pathetic. I'm not pining. I lie. I'm just appreciating the view, like how you'd appreciate a piece of art in a museum, from a safe distance, without touching. Right. Iris doesn't sound convinced. Well, Friday you'll be appreciating a different view, one that might actually appreciate you back. The words sting more than they should, because she's right. Isaac Moretti will never appreciate me. I'm just Ivy Bennett, the girl who works as an event coordinator for a modest boutique hotel, who wears sensible heels and owns exactly 3 dresses nice enough for Iris's world. I'm not the kind of woman who turns his head. I'm already standing to leave, gathering my laptop and phone, when Isaac finally speaks. His voice carries from the dining room, that low rumble that does things to my spine that should be illegal. "Iris, I need you to look at these contracts." "Busy," she calls back cheerfully. "Ivy and I are planning my birthday extravaganza, Can it wait? No. One word. Firm. Commanding. With that edge that says he's used to being obeyed. I hate how it makes my pulse quicken. Iris rolls her eyes but stands. Give me 5 minutes, she tells me. Don't leave yet. We still need to finalize the cake situation. She disappears into the dining room, and I'm left alone in the kitchen, trying very hard not to eavesdrop on their conversation. I fail, of course. Something about shipping routes and territories and percentages that confirm exactly what everyone knows but doesn't say about the Moretti family business. I'm scrolling through my phone, pretending to be absorbed in Marcus's profile, when I feel it. That prickling awareness that means someone is watching me. I look up to find Isaac standing in the doorway, his gray eyes fixed on me with an intensity that steals my breath. This is number 6. Ivy. He says my name like he's testing its weight on his tongue, like he's surprised to find me here, even though I'm here at least twice a week. Isaac. I manage to keep my voice steady, even as my heart hammers against my ribs. He crosses the kitchen with that predatory grace he has, moving like violence barely contained in an expensive suit. He's close enough now that I can smell his cologne, something dark and woodsy that makes me want to lean in closer. You're going out Friday? It's not quite a question, more like an accusation wrapped in polite inquiry. My phone is still in my hand, Marcus's profile visible on the screen. Heat floods my cheeks. How did you... I pay attention. His gaze drops to my phone, then back to my face. Marcus Henderson, investment banker, divorced 6 months ago, drives a Tesla, lives in the financial district. I stare at him. Did you run a background check on my Tinder date? I run background checks on everyone who enters my sister's orbit. The words are casual, but something dangerous lurks beneath them. Basic security protocol. I'm not in your sister's orbit. I'm her best friend. There's a difference. Is there? He leans against the counter, and suddenly the kitchen feels too small, the air too thick. You're here constantly. You know our family. You're close enough to be leverage if anyone wanted to use you. The implication settles over me like ice water. I'm not a person to him. I'm a potential security risk. Well, thank you for the warning, I say, standing and grabbing my things with more force than necessary. I'll be sure to tell Marcus to run in the other direction. Wouldn't want to complicate your security protocols. I'm almost to the door when his hand catches my wrist. Not hard, just firm enough to stop my momentum. The contact sends electricity racing up my arm. That's not what I meant. Then what did you mean? I turn to face him, anger finally overriding the pathetic longing I've been nursing for years. Because from where I'm standing, you've spent 7 years treating me like I'm invisible, and now you're suddenly interested in my dating life? His jaw tightens. I didn't say I was interested in your dating life. Then let me go. He does, but not before something flashes in his eyes. Something that looks almost like regret. Enjoy your date, Ivy. The way he says it makes it sound like a threat. Friday arrives too quickly. I spend an embarrassing amount of time getting ready, trying on 4 different dresses before settling on a black wrap dress that Iris assures me makes my curves look criminally good. My dark blonde hair falls in waves past my shoulders, and I've done my makeup with more care than usual, going for that effortlessly beautiful look that actually takes an hour to achieve. Marcus suggested meeting at a wine bar in Tribeca, somewhere upscale but not intimidating. Perfect for a first date. I tell myself I'm excited as I slip on my heels and grab my clutch. I tell myself I'm not thinking about Isaac. I'm lying on both counts. The Uber is waiting downstairs from my apartment, and I'm about to step in when my phone rings. Iris. Hey, what's up? Emergency. Her voice is tight with barely suppressed laughter. I need you to stop by the penthouse before your date. It'll only take 5 minutes, I promise. Iris, I'm literally getting in the car. Please, it's important. Family thing. I need you. I sigh, redirecting the driver to the Moretti penthouse instead. Whatever this is, it better be quick. The doorman recognizes me and waves me through without question. The elevator ride to the top floor feels longer than usual, my stomach knotting with an anxiety I can't quite name. Something feels off. The penthouse door is unlocked, which isn't unusual. What is unusual is the silence. Normally there's music playing, or Iris on the phone, or the general hum of activity that fills their space. Iris? I call out, stepping inside. Where are you? Living room. I follow her voice, my heels clicking on the marble floor. The living room is empty except for Isaac, standing by the floor-to-ceiling windows with a glass of whiskey in his hand, his back to me. Where's Iris? She had to step out. He doesn't turn around. Emergency at the gallery. My skin prickles with warning. You said she needed me for a family thing. I lied. The admission sends my heart into overdrive. I take a step backward toward the door. I need to go. I have a date. That's when he turns, and the look on his face stops me cold. Gone is the polite distance, the careful courtesy. What I see now is raw, barely leashed fury. If you take one more step toward that door, he growls, his voice low and dangerous, I won't be responsible for what happens next. I freeze, my hand still clutching my purse. Isaac sets his whiskey down on the side table with deliberate care, the glass making a soft clink that sounds impossibly loud in the sudden silence. Every instinct screams at me to run, but my feet refuse to cooperate. What the hell is wrong with you? I finally manage, anger cutting through my fear. You don't get to summon me here and threaten me because I have plans. I'm not threatening you. He moves toward me with that predatory grace, each step measured and purposeful. I'm warning you. Warning me about what? Having a normal date with a normal guy? My voice rises despite my efforts to stay calm. Sorry if that interferes with your security protocols, but last I checked, I don't work for you. No. He stops close enough that I have to tilt my head back to maintain eye contact. Close enough that I can see the muscle ticking in his jaw. You don't work for me. You're my sister's best friend, which makes you family, which makes you mine to protect. I'm not yours anything. The words come out shakier than I'd like. And I certainly don't need your protection from a banker who likes wine and golden retrievers. You know nothing about what you need. His hand comes up, and I think he's going to touch my face, but he stops himself, his fingers curling into a fist. Marcus Henderson has a gambling problem he's hiding from his employer. He owes money to people who make me look like a choir boy. And you thought you'd just meet him alone, in a bar, wearing that dress. What's wrong with my dress? Everything. The word is almost a growl. Absolutely everything. Heat floods my cheeks, but it's not embarrassment. It's fury. You had no right to investigate him. You had no right to interfere. And you definitely have no right to comment on what I wear. I have every right. He's closer now, backing me against the wall without even touching me. You want to know why I've kept my distance all these years, Ivy? Want to know why I treat you like you're invisible? Yes. The admission escapes before I can stop it. God, yes. Do you have any idea what these last 7 years have been like? Watching you parade women through here like they're interchangeable? Seeing you look through me like I'm nothing? Something dangerous flashes in his eyes. You think I look through you? You barely acknowledge I exist. Because if I acknowledged you... He stops, his hand slamming against the wall beside my head, caging me in. If I looked at you the way I want to look at you, if I touched you the way I've imagined touching you for 7 goddamn years, My sister would kill me, and she'd be right to. The air leaves my lungs in a rush. What? You're off limits, Ivy. Completely, absolutely off limits. Iris made me promise, the day she introduced us, that I'd never touch you. Never even think about you that way. Because she knew. His free hand comes up, his thumb tracing my jawline with agonizing gentleness. She knew I'd ruin you. I can't breathe, can't think, can't do anything but stare at him as years of certainty crumble into dust. You're lying. But even as I say it, I know he's not. I wish I was. His thumb moves to my lower lip, pressing gently. Do you know what it's been like? Watching you walk around in those little skirts, hearing you laugh at other men's jokes, seeing you bite your lip when you're thinking? He demonstrates by pressing harder against my mouth. Every time you did that, I wanted to bite it myself. Isaac. And tonight. His eyes drop to my dress, trailing over every curve with possessive heat that makes me tremble. You got dressed up for another man. You put on this dress, did your hair, painted your lips that color I've dreamed about. He stops himself, his jaw clenching. You were going to let him touch you. That's none of your business. Everything about you is my business. His voice drops to something almost feral. Even when it shouldn't be. Even when I've spent years trying to convince myself otherwise. You're mine, Ivy. You've always been mine. You don't get to claim me now. I shove at his chest, but he doesn't budge. Not after 7 years of nothing. Not after making me feel like I was crazy for wanting you. You want me? He catches my wrists, pinning them gently against the wall above my head. Say it again. No. Liar. His face is inches from mine now, his breath warm against my lips. Your pulse is racing. Your pupils are dilated. You're leaning into me even while you're pushing me away. So say it, Ivy. Admit you want me as much as I want you. I hate you. That's not an answer. It's the only answer you're getting. I twist in his grip, but it only brings our bodies closer together. Heat radiates from him, and I can feel every hard plane of muscle through his shirt. Let me go, Isaac. I have a date to get to. His eyes flash dangerously. The hell you do? You can't stop me. Watch me. He releases one of my wrists, pulling his phone from his pocket and dialing without breaking eye contact. Henderson, this is Isaac Moretti, the date with Ivy Bennett. It's canceled, permanently. No, that's not a request. I'd suggest you find somewhere else to spend your Friday nights, somewhere far away from anyone I care about. Goodbye, Marcus. He ends the call and pockets his phone, his hand returning to capture my wrist. You're insane. I'm shaking now, with anger or desire or some volatile combination of both. You can't just... I can. I did. His thumb strokes the inside of my wrist, finding my racing pulse. And before you get self-righteous about it, ask yourself this. Did you really want to spend tonight with him? Or did you just want to make yourself stop wanting me? The accuracy of the question steals my breath. That's not fair. None of this is fair, baby. The endearment hits like a physical touch. But we're done pretending, done playing these games. You want to hate me? Fine. Hate me while I show you exactly what these 7 years of restraint have cost me. He releases my wrists, but before I can move, his hands frame my face and he's kissing me. Not gentle, not tentative, but claiming. Devouring. 7 years of denial poured into one devastating kiss that makes my knees weak and my resolve crumble. I should push him away, should slap him and storm out and never speak to him again. Instead, I kiss him back. My hands fist in his shirt, pulling him closer as his tongue sweeps into my mouth. He tastes like whiskey and sin and terrible decisions I'm absolutely going to make. When he breaks away, we're both breathing hard. Tell me to stop. His forehead rests against mine, his hand still framing my face. Tell me you don't want this, and I'll walk away. I'll go back to ignoring you, pretending you're invisible. I'll keep my promise to Iris, even if it kills me. The words stick in my throat. Because I do want this. God help me, I want this more than I've wanted anything in my life. But giving in means war with Iris, means diving headfirst into Isaac's dangerous world, means risking my heart on a man who spent 7 years perfecting the art of keeping me at arm's length. I need to think. I duck under his arm, putting space between us before I do something stupid, like drag him to the nearest horizontal surface. I need to go home and think about this. Ivy, no. I hold up a hand, stopping him. You don't get to drop this bomb on me and expect an immediate answer. You've had 7 years to process whatever this is. I've had 7 minutes. He watches me with those intense gray eyes, and I can see him fighting the urge to argue. Finally, he nods. I'll have Marco drive you home. I can take an Uber. Marco is driving you home. It's not a request, and he'll be parked outside your building tonight. Standard security protocol. I don't need... You do now. His expression hardens. You know what I am, Ivy. What my family is. The second I kissed you, you became a target. So until we figure this out, you have protection. Non-negotiable. The reality of what he's saying sinks in like stones in my stomach. This isn't just about attraction or forbidden feelings. This is about entering a world where people become leverage, where security teams are necessary, where a kiss makes you a target. What have you done? I whisper. Something I should have done 7 years ago. He crosses to me, his hand gentle as it cups my cheek. Or maybe something I should never have done at all. Either way, it's done now. You're mine, Ivy. Whether you accept that or not. I'm not yours. Keep telling yourself that. His thumb traces my swollen lower lip. But we both know the truth now. The only question is what you're going to do about it. I don't sleep. Can't sleep. Every time I close my eyes, I feel Isaac's hands on my face, taste him on my lips, hear his voice growling that I'm his. Marco is indeed parked outside my building, the black SUV impossible to miss under the streetlight. Standard security protocol, Isaac called it. A cage with a leather interior is more accurate. At 2 a.m., I give up on sleep and do something profoundly stupid. I text him. Why now? After all this time? Why break your promise now? The response comes within seconds, like he's been waiting. Because watching you leave for another man broke something in me that was already cracked. Because I'm selfish. Because I've reached my limit for noble sacrifices. Pick whichever answer helps you sleep. I'm not sleeping. Neither am I. I'm sitting in my office drinking scotch and remembering how you taste. Come back. No. Liar. You want to. You're thinking about it right now. He's right, and I hate him for it. I'm thinking about throwing on clothes and going back to that penthouse. I'm thinking about finishing what we started. I'm thinking about 7 years of longing finally being satisfied. Iris will never forgive us. The response takes longer this time. I know, but I'm done choosing between the two of you. I'm choosing both. She'll have to accept it. And if she doesn't, then I'll lose my twin sister and gain you. Not an ideal trade, but one I'm willing to make. The casual way he says it terrifies me. Like I'm worth destroying his family over. Like this attraction that's been simmering for years is worth any price. You can't mean that. I've never been more serious about anything in my life. Now stop texting me and go to sleep, or come here. Those are your only 2 options. I should choose sleep. Should turn off my phone and deal with this in the morning with a clear head. Instead, I'm pulling on jeans and a sweater, French braiding my hair, and slipping out my fire escape to avoid Marco. If Isaac wants me to come to him, he can deal with the fact that I won't make it easy. The night air is cold against my face as I navigate the familiar route to the Moretti penthouse on foot. It's a 20-minute walk, plenty of time to second-guess this insane decision. But I keep moving, drawn by something stronger than common sense. I'm half a block away when a figure steps out of the shadows. My heart lurches before I recognize the broad shoulders, the expensive coat. Trying to sneak past my security, baby? Isaac's voice is amused, dangerous. Did you really think I wouldn't know the second you left your building? I'm not your prisoner. No. He closes the distance between us in 3 strides. You're something much more complicated than that. Up close, I can see the exhaustion in his eyes, the tension in his jaw. He looks like he's been fighting the same battle I have, sleepless and wound tight. Why did you come? He asks, his hands settling on my waist like they belong there. I don't know. The truth feels safer than a lie. Maybe because I'm tired of fighting this, or maybe because I want answers that make sense of the last 7 years. What if there aren't any answers that make sense? His forehead touches mine, that gesture already becoming familiar. What if it's just this? Just want and need and something that shouldn't exist but does anyway? Then we're both in trouble. The best kind. His lips brush mine, gentle this time. Testing. Come upstairs. Let me show you what these years have been like for me. Warning bells clang in my head, but I'm already nodding. Already letting him take my hand and lead me into the building, past the doorman who pretends not to see us, into the elevator where he backs me against the wall the second the doors close. I tried so hard to keep my promise, he murmurs against my throat, his lips tracing patterns that make me shiver. Every time you walked into a room, I had to actively look away. Do you know how difficult that is when someone lights up your peripheral vision like a goddamn supernova? You acted like I didn't exist. I acted like you didn't affect me. His hands slide under my sweater, finding bare skin. There's a difference, a massive 7-year difference that's been slowly killing me. The elevator dings, doors opening onto the penthouse. He pulls me through the foyer, past the living room where this whole thing started, down a hallway I've never been in before, his private wing, where guests aren't allowed. His bedroom is exactly what I'd imagine. Minimalist, masculine, dominated by a king-size bed with charcoal sheets. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlook the city, curtains open to let in the glow of streetlights and stars. Last chance to run. He releases me, taking a step back, giving me space to choose. If you stay, everything changes. I won't let you go after this. Promises from a man who broke his promise to his sister? The only promise I've ever broken. Something fierce burns in his eyes, and I'd break it 1,000 times over for one night with you. I should leave, should salvage what's left of my friendship with Iris and my dignity and my safe, uncomplicated life. Instead, I reach for the hem of my sweater. Then stop talking and show me. What follows isn't gentle. It's 7 years of restraint shattering, need and want, and possession poured into every touch, every kiss, every whispered word against sweat-dampened skin. He worships me with hands that know exactly what they want, mouth that drives me to the edge of madness and back. And when I finally shatter in his arms, his name a prayer on my lips, I understand what he meant about everything changing. Because this isn't just sex. It's a claiming. A line crossed that can never be uncrossed. Afterward, we lie tangled in his sheets, my head on his chest while his fingers trace idle patterns on my bare shoulder. The city glitters beyond the windows, indifferent to the war we've just started. Tell me about the promise, I say finally. The one you made to Iris. His hand stills. You sure you want to know? I deserve to know. He's quiet for so long I think he won't answer. Then, it was your first day at Columbia. Iris brought you to Sunday dinner, introduced you to the family. You wore this blue dress with little flowers on it, and you laughed at something my father said, and He stops, his chest rising with a deep breath. I looked at you like I wanted to devour you, right there at the dinner table with my whole family watching. Heat floods my cheeks at the image. I don't remember that. Because you were nervous, focused on making a good impression. But Iris saw. Afterward, she cornered me in my office and made me swear I'd never pursue you. Said you were too good for this life, too innocent for what I am, that if I cared about you at all, I'd keep my distance. And you agreed. I agreed because she was right. You were 19, Ivy, fresh out of some small town in Connecticut, studying art history and talking about opening a gallery someday. You had dreams that had nothing to do with organized crime or blood-stained money. You deserved better than me. What changed? His arms tighten around me. You did. You grew up. Stopped being that wide-eyed girl and became this woman who walks into rooms like you own them, who stands up to me, challenges me, sees exactly what I am, and doesn't flinch. And tonight, watching you get dressed up for another man, knowing he'd get to see you smile, hear you laugh, maybe take you home. His voice goes rough. Something in me just broke, snapped clean through. So you sabotaged my date. I eliminated a threat to my sanity. His hand cups my face, turning me to look at him. And I'd do it again. I'll sabotage every date, every flirtation, every man who so much as looks at you too long. Because you're mine now, Ivy. We both know it. Iris is going to kill us. Probably. He doesn't sound particularly concerned. But I'm done choosing between you. I've given her 7 years. Now it's my turn. I want to argue, to point out all the ways this is a terrible idea. But lying here in his arms, warm and sated and claimed, I can't find the energy. Tomorrow there will be consequences. Tomorrow I'll have to face my best friend and explain the unexplainable. Tonight, I'm just going to be his. I wake to sunlight streaming through unfamiliar windows and the warm weight of Isaac's arm across my waist. For a moment, I just lie there, cataloging details. The way his breath ruffles my hair, the solid muscle of his chest against my back. The fact that I'm naked in Isaac Moretti's bed and, oh God, what have I done? Stop panicking. His voice is rough with sleep, lips brushing my shoulder. I can feel you overthinking from here. I'm not panicking. I am absolutely panicking. I'm just processing. Process later. He pulls me closer, and I feel exactly how awake certain parts of him are. Right now, I have better ideas. Isaac. My phone rings, cutting me off. I reach for it on the nightstand, my stomach dropping when I see the caller ID. Iris. Don't answer it, Isaac warns, but I'm already swiping to accept. Hey, where are you? I've been texting all morning. Iris sounds worried, not suspicious, yet. Marco said you left your building last night and never came back. I glance at Isaac, who's watching me with an unreadable expression. I'm fine. Just stayed at a friend's place. Which friend? And why is Marco tracking you? Did something happen? It's complicated. Ivy, you're scaring me. Where are you? Isaac takes the phone from my hand. She's with me, Iris. She's safe. Silence. The kind that precedes hurricanes and explosions. With you? Iris's voice is dangerously quiet. Define with you, Isaac. I think you know what I mean. Put her on the phone, now. He hands it back, his expression somewhere between resigned and defiant. I take a breath and bring it to my ear. Iris. My penthouse. 1 hour. Both of you. She hangs up. I stare at the dead phone in my hand. She's going to murder us. Probably me more than you. Isaac sits up, the sheet pooling at his waist in a way that's entirely too distracting given our current crisis. She made me promise, remember? You didn't break anything. I did. We both knew what we were doing. Doesn't matter. He stands, gloriously naked and completely unself-conscious, heading for the bathroom. To Iris, you're the innocent victim of my inevitable corruption. Get used to that narrative. I'm not a victim. He pauses in the doorway, gray eyes finding mine. No, you're not. But try telling my sister that. An hour later, we're sitting in the penthouse living room like children called to the principal's office. Iris paces in front of us, her expression oscillating between fury and hurt, and something that might be betrayal. 7 years. She stops, fixing Isaac with a glare that could cut glass. You promised me for 7 years that you'd leave her alone, that you'd keep your distance, that you wouldn't do exactly what you've apparently done. I know what I promised. Then why? She turns to me, and the hurt in her eyes makes my chest ache. Why him, Ivy? Out of everyone in this entire city, why did it have to be him? I didn't plan this. Didn't you? She laughs, bitter. You've been in love with him since college. Don't think I haven't noticed. But I thought you understood why it could never happen. Why he's the last person you should be with. Because he's dangerous? I stand, needing to meet her at eye level. Because he's in the Mafia? I know what he is, Iris. I've known for years. It's not about what he is. She looks between us, something like grief crossing her face. It's about what he does to people, how he consumes them until there's nothing left. I've seen it with every woman he's ever been with. They go in whole and come out shattered. I'm not every woman. That's what they all thought. Iris's voice cracks. You're my best friend, Ivy, and he's my brother. I can't watch him destroy you. He's not going to destroy me, I say, though I'm not entirely sure I believe it. Isaac finally speaks, his voice quiet but firm. I'm not going to hurt her, Iris. Not the way you think. You can't promise that. She faces him, tears glittering in her eyes. You've never kept a woman longer than 3 months. You get bored, you move on, you leave wreckage in your wake. What makes Ivy different? Everything. The word is simple, absolute. She's different because she's always been different. Because I've wanted her for 7 years and spent every day of those years trying to convince myself I didn't. Because when I look at her, I don't see a temporary distraction. I see the rest of my life. The silence that follows is deafening. Iris stares at her brother like she's never seen him before. Did you just say the rest of your life? He stands, moving to where I'm frozen by the windows. His hand finds mine, fingers intertwining. I'm in love with her. I have been since the day you introduced us, and I'm done pretending otherwise. My heart stops, restarts, stops again. You're in love with me? The words come out barely above a whisper. Devastatingly. He turns to face me, and the naked honesty in his expression steals my breath. Why do you think I stayed away? It wasn't just the promise to Iris. It was self-preservation. Because I knew if I let myself have you, I'd never want anything else. Isaac. I love you, Ivy. I love your laugh and your terrible coffee addiction and the way you bite your lip when you're thinking. I love how you call me on my bullshit and stand up to me even when you're scared. I love that you see what I am and haven't run screaming yet. And I'm terrified because loving you makes you my greatest weakness. But I'm doing it anyway. Iris makes a strangled sound. This is worse than I thought. Why? I can't look away from Isaac. can't process what he's just said. Why is it worse? Because he means it. She sinks onto the couch, head in her hands. When Isaac Moretti loves someone, he doesn't do it halfway. He doesn't do anything halfway. God, you're both so screwed. Iris, I start, but she holds up a hand. I need time to process this, to figure out how I feel about my best friend sleeping with my twin brother, who she's apparently been in love with for years, while he's been secretly in love with her back like some terrible romance novel. She looks up, and despite the anger, there's something almost like amusement in her eyes. You two are ridiculous, you know that? Is that your blessing? Isaac asks carefully. It's not my blessing or my curse. You're both adults who made your choice. She stands, pointing at me. But you, Ivy Bennett, are going to sit down and tell me every detail of how this happened, starting with why you snuck out on Marco last night. I didn't sneak out. You literally climbed down your fire escape. Isaac's smirk is infuriating. Marco has thermal cameras. You have thermal cameras on my apartment? Standard security protocol. Stop saying that. I turn to Iris. See what I have to deal with? Oh, honey, she says, her expression somewhere between sympathy and sadistic glee. You have no idea what you've gotten yourself into. Welcome to the family. The next 2 weeks are a masterclass in sexual tension and psychological warfare, because Isaac Moretti, I discover, is a man who takes challenges very seriously. And I, apparently, am incapable of backing down from a fight. It starts innocently enough. I show up to help Iris with final party preparations, wearing a sundress that shows exactly the right amount of leg. Nothing scandalous, just enough to make Isaac's jaw tighten when he walks into the room. Is that new? He asks, his voice carefully controlled. This old thing? I smooth down the skirt, watching his eyes track the movement. I've had it for ages. Lies. I bought it yesterday specifically to drive him insane. He knows it too. I can see it in the dangerous glint in his eyes, the way his fingers flex around his coffee cup, like he's imagining them flexing around something else entirely. Interesting choice for furniture shopping, he comments, because apparently we're now helping Iris select pieces for her new gallery space. I can change if it's inappropriate, I offer sweetly. Don't. The word comes out almost harsh. You look perfect. Iris glances between us with barely concealed amusement. Should I leave you two alone, or are you going to keep eye-fucking across my future gallery? We're not, I start. Definitely eye-fucking, Isaac confirms, not breaking eye contact with me. But we can multitask. This becomes our pattern. I dress to kill. He suffers beautifully. I pretend not to notice. He retaliates by standing too close, touching my lower back when guiding me through doorways, whispering comments in my ear that make my knees weak. It's torture. Delicious, addictive torture. The real warfare begins when I mention, casually, over dinner at the penthouse, that Marcus texted me an apology for canceling our date. Isaac's fork stops halfway to his mouth. He what? Texted me. I take a sip of wine, the picture of innocence. Said he hoped we could try again sometime. That he understood if I was seeing someone else but wanted to stay in touch. Block him. That seems rude. Ivy, his voice drops to that dangerous register that makes my stomach flutter. Block him. I don't know. I tap my finger against my wine glass. He did seem really nice in his messages. Very respectful. Mentioned he loves hiking and has a golden retriever named Max. The glass in Isaac's hand shatters. Red wine spreads across the white tablecloth as shards of crystal glitter among the drops. His palm is bleeding, but he doesn't even seem to notice. Isaac! Iris jumps up. Jesus! Are you okay? Fine. His eyes never leave mine. just clumsy. I know better. There's nothing clumsy about Isaac Moretti. That was pure, undiluted jealousy, barely contained. Let me see your hand, I say, standing. It's nothing. Isaac. I move around the table, taking his hand despite his resistance. The cut isn't deep, but it's bleeding steadily. Come on. First aid kit. He lets me lead him to the bathroom, Iris's knowing look burning into my back. The second the door closes, he has me pressed against it, his injured hand braced against the wood beside my head. That was cruel, he growls. What was? I'm the picture of innocence. You know exactly what. Mentioning him, his golden retriever, the hiking. His uninjured hand comes up to cup my face. You're playing with fire, baby. Maybe I like the burn. You're going to get more than a burn if you keep this up. He leans in, his lips brushing my ear. You're going to get thoroughly, completely ruined for any other man. Big talk from someone bleeding on my shirt. That startles a laugh out of him. You're impossible. And you're bleeding. Sit. I push him toward the closed toilet lid, pulling out the first aid kit from under the sink. Let me fix this before Iris thinks I'm murdering you in here. He watches me clean the cut with an intensity that makes my hands shake. When I finish wrapping the gauze, he catches my wrist, pulling me between his spread thighs. I blocked him, you know, after our first night together, added his number to a blacklist. His thumb traces circles on my inner wrist. He couldn't text you if he tried. What? I stare at him. Isaac, that's possessive, controlling, unhinged. He nods. All of the above. But I told you. You're mine. I meant it. You can't just blacklist people from contacting me. Can I? His other hand slides up my thigh, under the hem of my sundress. Seems like I already did. This is insane. This is what loving you looks like on me. His fingers trace higher. Messy, possessive, completely out of control. Don't like it? There's the door. I should leave, should tell him this behavior is unacceptable, and walk out with my dignity intact. Instead, I kiss him. By the time we emerge from the bathroom 20 minutes later, both thoroughly disheveled, Iris has cleared the table and poured herself a very large glass of wine. Bathroom renovations? She asks innocently. Shut up, I mutter, my face burning. For the record, she addresses Isaac, if you break her heart, I will absolutely hire someone to break your face. Twin solidarity has limits. Noted. He pulls me against his side, his wrapped hand resting possessively on my hip. But it's not her heart you should be worried about. It's mine. She's going to destroy me and enjoy every second. Good, Iris says. You deserve it. The warfare escalates. I start spending more time at the penthouse, allegedly helping with party planning, but really just torturing Isaac with my presence. I wear his favorite color, that deep emerald green. I bite my lip constantly. I laugh at his second-in-command's jokes. That last one almost gets poor Tony fired. You're flirting with my men, Isaac accuses one evening, cornering me in his office. I'm being friendly. There's a difference. You touched his arm. He was showing me photos of his daughter's dance recital. You bit your lip while looking at him. I did not. I stop, because I absolutely did. Are you seriously jealous of Tony? Tony, who's been married for 15 years and has 3 kids? I'm jealous of anyone who makes you smile like that. He stalks toward me, predatory. Anyone who gets your attention when it should be on me. Your ego is showing. My obsession is showing. He backs me against his desk. And you keep feeding it. Keep pushing me. Want to know what happens when you push a dangerous man too far? Is this where you threaten to punish me? No. His hands grip the desk on either side of me. This is where I promise to make you forget every other man exists. Where I prove that no amount of flirting or teasing or testing my patience will change the fundamental truth. Which is? You're mine, and I'm keeping you. The party is in 3 days when things finally come to a head. I'm at my apartment, getting ready for dinner with Iris, when I hear my door unlock. Before I can panic, Isaac walks in like he owns the place. How did you get a key? I'm a crime boss, baby. Getting keys is the least of my talents. He closes the door behind him, leaning against it. We need to talk. About breaking and entering? About the fact that you're not wearing my ring yet. The world tilts. You're what? He crosses to me, pulling a small velvet box from his pocket. I've been carrying this around for a week, trying to find the right moment. But there is no right moment because this is us. Messy and chaotic and completely insane. He opens the box, revealing a ring that steals my breath. Emerald-cut diamond, surrounded by smaller stones, set in platinum. Move in with me. Officially. Stop pretending you don't sleep in my bed every night anyway. Isaac. I'm not asking you to marry me. Yet. His smile is dangerous. I'm asking you to stop fighting this. Stop testing me. Stop torturing both of us with this game we're playing. And if I say no, then I'll wait. I'll court you properly. I'll do whatever you need. His thumb traces my lower lip. But you won't say no, because you want this as much as I do. He's right. God help me. He's right. Okay. 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 I'll move in with you. I lean into his touch. But I'm keeping my apartment, for when you drive me crazy and I need space. Deal. He slides the ring onto my finger, and it fits perfectly. Of course it does. Though fair warning, I'm going to drive you crazy often. It's kind of my thing. I'm counting on it. He kisses me then, deep and claiming, and I surrender to the inevitable. To this man who's loved me for 7 years. To this dangerous, impossible future we're building. To being completely, irrevocably his. Iris's birthday party is everything she deserved and nothing I expected. The gallery space she's rented transforms into something magical. All Edison bulbs and exposed brick and carefully curated art pieces. The guest list is a who's who of the city's elite, both legitimate and otherwise. And I'm walking into it wearing Isaac's ring. You're sure about this? I ask him, as Marco pulls the car up to the entrance. Making it public? I've never been more sure of anything. His hand finds mine, thumb stroking over the diamond. Everyone's going to know you're mine tonight, baby. No more hiding. Iris is going to kill us for making her party about us. She already knows. His smile is wicked. I told her this morning. She threw a very expensive vase at my head. Isaac. She missed, mostly. He helps me out of the car, and I'm immediately aware of eyes turning our way, people noticing, calculating. Besides, she said, and I quote, if you're going to claim her publicly, at least wait until I'm drunk enough to enjoy the drama. We enter to find Iris holding court near the bar, resplendent in red, and already definitely tipsy. She spots us, her eyes dropping to my hand, and grins. Ladies and gentlemen. She climbs onto a nearby platform, champagne sloshing. An announcement! My idiot brother has finally stopped pining pathetically and actually claimed his woman. Everybody waved to Ivy, the brave soul who's agreed to put up with him. The crowd applauds, laughs, toasts. I'm mortified and touched and completely overwhelmed. Isaac just pulls me closer, his arm around my waist, possessive and proud. Told you she'd be fine with it. She's drunk. She's happy. He presses a kiss to my temple. She's been rooting for us since the beginning, even while trying to protect you from me. Now she can stop playing both sides. The evening unfolds in a blur of congratulations and curious questions and thinly veiled assessments. Some people are genuinely happy for us. Others are clearly calculating what this means for power dynamics and alliances. And then there's the contingent who look at me like I'm already a ghost. "Don't worry about them," Isaac murmurs, reading my expression as we slow dance to music played by a live jazz quartet. "They're just jealous. They think you're going to destroy me." "I probably will. His honesty is brutal and beautiful. But you're going to destroy me right back. That's how this works." Mutual destruction. How romantic. With us? Absolutely. He spins me out and back in, my body fitting against his perfectly. "You know what I realized this week? That you're obsessed with me? Besides that." His lips brush my ear. "All those women Iris mentioned, the ones I supposedly shattered, I never felt anything for them. Not really. They were placeholders, distractions, ways to convince myself I didn't want what I couldn't have. And now I have you. And I'm never letting go." His hand tightens on my waist. "Fair warning. I'm going to be possessive and demanding, and probably drive you insane on a regular basis. I'm counting on it." The song ends, and we're separating when I feel it, that prickling awareness that means trouble. I turn to find a woman approaching, tall and blonde and vaguely familiar. Isaac Moretti. Her smile is sharp. "And this must be the woman who finally tamed you." "Natasha." Isaac's voice goes carefully neutral. "I didn't realize you were invited. Iris and I go way back." She extends a hand to me. "Natasha Volkov. I dated Isaac last year." I shake her hand, feeling Isaac tense beside me. "Ivy Bennett, nice to meet you." Such a sweet ring. Her eyes linger on my hand. "Though I'm surprised Isaac gave you that one. Usually the Moretti emerald goes to, that's enough." Isaac's voice cuts like a blade. "Enjoy the party, Natasha." She leaves with a knowing smile, and I turn to him. "What was that about?" Ancient history trying to make trouble. He's already guiding me toward the exit. "Come on, I need air." We end up on the gallery's rooftop, the city sprawling beneath us in a carpet of lights. Isaac immediately loosens his tie, that telltale sign of stress. "What did she mean about the ring?" I ask finally. He's quiet for a long moment. "The Moretti emerald traditionally goes to the bride, not the girlfriend, not the fiancée when we get there. The bride." My heart stutters. "Isaac, I know we've only been official for 2 weeks. I know it's insane. But I've wanted you for 7 years, Ivy. When I said I see the rest of my life with you, I meant it." He turns to face me, vulnerability raw in his expression. "That ring was my grandmother's. She gave it to my mother. My mother was going to give it to whoever I married. I'm giving it to you because I can't imagine giving it to anyone else." "You're proposing? Now? At your sister's birthday party?" "I'm not proposing." His smile is crooked. "Not officially. I'm just making my intentions very clear. When I do propose, it'll be better than this. More romantic. Less panic-inducing." "This is pretty panic-inducing already." "Good." He pulls me against him. "I like you a little panicked. Makes it easier to catch you when you try to run." "I'm not running." "No." His forehead touches mine. "You're standing still, letting me catch you. It's terrifying and perfect and everything I didn't know I needed." I kiss him then, soft and slow, and full of promise. When we break apart, the city glitters around us like we're the only 2 people in the world. "Your sister's going to be furious we ditched her party," I point out. My sister is 3 sheets to the wind and trying to convince Antonio Russo to buy a painting of a banana duct taped to a canvas for $50,000. He grins. "She won't even notice we're gone." We slip back inside to find chaos. Iris has indeed cornered Antonio, but she's also somehow acquired a microphone and is making toasts that start sweet and devolve into embarrassing stories about Isaac's childhood. And then he cried because the puppy was too cute, she's saying. My big bad Mafia boss brother, crying over a golden retriever puppy. I'm going to kill her, Isaac mutters, but he's smiling. You love her. Unfortunately. He steals my champagne glass. Come on, let's save Antonio before she sells him something ridiculous. The rest of the night is a perfect blur. Dancing and laughing and watching Isaac try to manage his drunk sister while also keeping me close. At one point, Iris drags me to the bathroom for a serious talk that turns into her making me promise to hurt him back if he ever hurts me. I mean it, she slurs, poking my chest. You're my best friend, and he's my brother. But you were mine first, so if he screws this up, I'm on your side. I love you, I tell her, meaning it. Love you too. She hugs me tight. Now go. He's been staring at the door like a lost puppy for 5 minutes. It's adorable and pathetic. Isaac is indeed waiting outside the bathroom, trying to look casual and failing completely. She threatening to kill me? He asks. Only if you deserve it. Fair. He takes my hand. Ready to get out of here? I'm done sharing you with the masses. We say our goodbyes, Iris making us promise to have brunch tomorrow and escape into the night. Marco drives us back to the penthouse in comfortable silence, Isaac's thumb tracing patterns on my palm the whole way. Inside his bedroom, he helps me out of my dress with reverent hands. I meant what I said earlier, he murmurs against my shoulder. About the rest of my life. I know. I turn in his arms. And for the record, I'm terrified and excited and completely in love with you, even when you're being possessive and overprotective and breaking glasses because someone mentioned hiking. In my defense, he had a golden retriever. You're ridiculous. I'm yours. He lifts me, carrying me to the bed. Completely, irrevocably yours. Then prove it. He does, thoroughly. And afterward, wrapped in his arms with the city quiet beyond the windows, I finally understand what Iris meant about him not doing anything halfway. Isaac Moretti loves with the same intensity he does everything else, absolutely, possessively, with his whole damn heart. And I love him right back. 3 months later, I move into the penthouse officially. My apartment becomes storage for art pieces Iris insists I'll want someday. Isaac's closet becomes half mine, though he complains constantly about the number of shoes I own. You have 37 pairs, he says one morning, staring at the organized rows. Why do you need 37 pairs of shoes? Why do you need 12 guns? I counter, buttoning his shirt because he claims he likes when I do it. That's different. That's professional equipment. These are professional equipment for looking good. You'd look good in a garbage bag. Smooth talker. I finish the last button, straightening his collar. There. Presentable. He catches my hands, pulling me close. I love you. I know. I smile against his kiss. I love you too, even though you're ridiculous and possessive and probably clinically insane. Probably. He grins. But I'm your ridiculous, possessive, clinically insane person. Lucky me. The luckiest. His hands frame my face. Now stop being adorable, or we'll never leave this apartment. Would that be so bad? Yes, because I promised Iris we'd have brunch, and if we cancel again, she'll assume we're having sex and make incredibly inappropriate comments about it. We are having sex. She doesn't need confirmation. He releases me reluctantly. Come on. Sooner we go, sooner we can come back. Brunch with Iris has become a weekly tradition. She's opened her gallery officially, and she uses these meals to show us pictures of her latest acquisitions while making running commentary on our relationship. You're still disgustingly in love, she observes, watching Isaac feed me a bite of his omelet. It's been months. When does the honeymoon phase end? Never, Isaac says firmly. Gross. But she's smiling. Fine. Be annoyingly perfect together. See if I care. You care, I point out. You're literally planning our engagement party. Future engagement party. He hasn't actually proposed yet. She looks at her brother. What's taking so long? Cold feet? Waiting for the right moment. The right moment was 7 years ago. Everything after that is just details. I kick her under the table. Stop harassing him. I'm his twin. Harassment is my job. She steals a piece of bacon from my plate. But seriously, you two are good? We're good, Isaac and I say simultaneously. Disgustingly good, I add. Perfect, Iris declares. Then I can stop worrying that you'll murder each other and go back to worrying about normal things. Like whether my installation of soup cans is pretentious or brilliant. Definitely pretentious, Isaac says. Shut up. Nobody asked you. We bicker and laugh and eat, and somewhere in the middle of it, I catch Isaac watching me with this expression. Soft and possessive and completely in love. This is my life now. Brunch with the Moretti twins. Living in a penthouse with a Mafia boss. Planning a future that shouldn't make sense but somehow does. And I've never been happier.